Barrett here in Teatro Valle in Rome after this brilliant version of your Midnight Summer.
Thank you very much.
And that was really amazing. If we had to tell between the merry and the tragic, you definitely choose the merry.
Yes, I would say yes.
Just to speak with Shakespeare
yes.
words, right? And you're in Italy with 2 plays.
Yes.
Yes. Tell us something.
We've come with Midsummer Night's Dream, which you saw tonight, and with Merchant of Venice. Propeller's been going for 12 years, and the last tour we did, we brought to Milan. We brought to the Piccolo Theatre in Milan, and we did Taming of the Shrew and Twelfth Night.
Where you will be also.
Where we're going to be in May, I think.
Right.
Yes.
May with the Merchant.
With just the Merchant, because I think they've already had a Midsummer Night's Dream there, so I think they only want the Merchant. And it's great for us because the Dream is a comedy, very sort of, and Merchant of Venice is a much more serious play, and we take it very, we make it probably more severe than the normal productions of Merchant of Venice. So you get an absolute sort of difference between the two. As you said, merry and tragical. One is very merry and one is very tragical. And I think for us as actors, it's great to have both.
That's the great spirit of Shakespeare.
Absolutely, because they're 2 totally different plays. Yes.
You were born, let's say so, as a regional experience, and then you grew up so incredibly. Yes. What do you think are the reasons of this success?
I don't know. It's difficult to say. I think our work is very visual. I think so. I think it works abroad. I mean, obviously, in England, the normal sort of progression is you start in the regions. Then it's successful, and then you tour the country, and then with that success you go into London, which we've done. But the amazing thing about Propeller is the international success. And really, the last 2 plays we did on 4 continents, and it looks like this will do the same. And we take this play, and for us, I think nothing makes a company grow as quickly as taking your work around the world, to take it to different, cultures, different.
Also tasting the different reactions. So Peter Brook, in many of his books, talked about the different reactions that the public has to the same thing.
Absolutely. And that for us, and it makes us. You never sort of relax. You never expect responses. A line that will get a huge laugh in England. You bring here and it doesn't get a laugh at all, but a laugh here gets a huge laugh, and in England it gets nothing. And it's for us, it makes every single performance different and special, And when you look back on the tour, you think, God, I took this to Rome, and I'm sure what would be intriguing is to see the differences between Rome and Milan, bringing Merchant of Venice here and taking it there, and just seeing what the difference is between those 2 cities. And the different reactions there, it's just, for us, it's endlessly replenishing, endlessly sort of.
Which is the great richness of the theatre.
Which is why you do the theatre. You do the theatre because, although you do the same play, every single show is different, every day is different, and I think that's what it's about. That's what makes it special. That's what makes it, and it's that reaction. It's that, as Brooke, quite rightly said, it's that relationship between us and the audience, and we try and make that relationship as kinetic as possible, as sort of active as possible.
In fact, also in this play, you sort of choose the auditorium as a sort of extra actor, sort of searching for a reaction somehow.
Yes, which I think is great. Which I think, and it sort of embodies the audience as different people. In Merchant of Venice, Shylock will talk to the audience in one way, and I will talk to Antonio, will talk to the audience in another. Antonio Merchant, the Merchant, yes. And here Bottom will talk to the audience in a different way from Oberon. And you get, it's fascinating as an audience to have different relationships with different people on the stage. I think and Shakespeare particularly makes that work because he he pushes it out to the audience. He makes you contact the audience by obviously talking. And Ed, understanding that, makes us talk to the audience probably more than any other director I've ever worked with. He will say, you'll be talking to another actor on stage and he'll go, tell the audience that make the audience Venice, make the audience, you know, the forest, make right. The audience, all those different things. And so makes you contact the audience. And I think that's, so it's not just two separate beings.
Two words.
Yes.
It's hard for, just to start working as an actor.
Yes.
But even tougher is being a dramaturgist now. I think that even though in England there has always been a tradition and there are theatres which keep on searching for new dramaturgy, Tim Crouch or you had Sarah Kane, but also this year the 70 years of Carol Sergio. Right. So
I love,
what tell us something about this? And
well, I know a lot of writers. Some are just extraordinary. There's a writer called, I'll give you an example. There's a writer I know called Gregory Motton, who I believe to be a great playwright. He hardly gets his plays put on in England at all. He has found it incredibly difficult. He has been very critical of the system in England.
Just repeat the name of your...
Gregory Motton. But in France, he's heralded as a genius. But, you know, people are saying he's one of the greatest playwrights since Beckett, who he resembles. So most of his work is done in Paris. And there, I went to see an amazing play of his called Looking at You Revived Again. And there weren't many people in the audience, and it hadn't been that much of a success. And I said to the woman who ran the theatre, how's it gone down? And she said, not particularly well, but she said, but Gregory's a genius, and we know he's a genius, and he has such a following here, we will just keep doing his plays and trying. In England, unfortunately, and this is a throwback to the Thatcher years, to Margaret Thatcher's years, and her great sort of, unfortunately, her remit was, it has to be successful. So the successful playwrights did well, and the playwrights who were a little bit more edgy and difficult didn't get there. That still, I believe, is left in the English culture. So the most successful ones work, and the ones that write more difficult pieces.
So learning is important also.
Yes, absolutely. And I think, you know, Ed's father.
Learning and educating from this side too.
Yes, I think so. And I think, you know, culture and art doesn't necessarily have to be successful. It has to be something that's deemed to be worthy, I think. And I, you know, Ed's father, Peter Hall, brought Waiting for Godot to London and did it at the Arts Theatre when he was 23. And, you know, everyone laughed at him and said, this is a stupid thing to do, but if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have had Samuel Beckett. And Samuel Beckett is one of the great geniuses, not just of the 20th century, but of all time. And I think someone's got to, it's all about bravery, I believe. Someone's got to make the step to say, I believe this person is great, and just to keep pushing that person, which is what you know, that woman in Paris does. They just keep pushing a person because they believe they're worthy. And I think that as long as we keep our nerve, we'll be all right, and great playwrights will come through.